She's going to talk about a lot of secret ideas, because the Smart Icon project title is the secret of the work of art. So I hope Sarah will share with us some secret information about what she's doing, and the rest of the title is mysterious concealed behind all the restoration and the true revealed. So Sarah, the microphone.
Thank you. Good morning, and thank you for coming here today. My name is Sarah Penco. I am a restorer and creator of Smarticon project. I would like to thank Professor Vito Cappellini, who invited me to take part in this conference. Smarticon is a scientific, innovative instrument able to deal with and handle all the complexities that characterize the field of cultural heritage. In order to deal with the criticality of the sector and thus to be able to manage the complexity, it is necessary to have the means able to retrieve all information pertaining to the artifact. The latter, if properly processed through the method, will determine the recovery of the lost knowledge and also lead to the enhancement of the asset and the pursuit of numerous other benefits. The Smarticon logic allows you to place a hermeneutic order between the different informations that populate the field of art, and thanks to this ability, it translates into an effective instrument in charge of the interpretation and decoding of a lost language. This happens through the deep analysis of the basic information, where do they originate, their order within axioms, and the rules that will allow them to assume the properties that will generate the enunciative functions. The method, after having traced information, processes it through several phases, each of which is characterized by a process of inductive, deductive, and empirical logic. Each phase is in charge of giving an order to all the information, different for status and nature, subsequently defining that process of formation until they generate the enunciates. The enunciates assume a strategic value, since they are more able to communicate with each other and establish mutual relations and correlations, and therefore generating the aspired product, that is to bring out the contradictions and manage them so that they themselves become enunciates. Through these repetitive and methodical processes, Smarticon represents an appropriate solution to the recovery of the knowledge, oriented toward the search for truth. Its innovative features are that all the different kinds of information are put in relation to each other in an ongoing process and a harbinger of those aspired results that are precluded in the current technique. Through the elaboration of these processes, a real cognitive patrimony is generated, full of enormous potential, and, not infrequently, proves to be particularly expert at revealing secrets that have been hidden for centuries behind the image of a work of art. Our usual way of observing, studying, and examining the cultural heritage does not always provide an adequate tool to understand the hidden truth. And for this reason, the secrets that can be revealed make the world of art one of the sector with unrivaled charm. It is to the figure of the restorer who very often the fate entrusts the most extraordinary discoveries. Behind the overlaying of dirty patina, yellow varnish, and old repainting, you can reveal the truth camouflaged for centuries behind the hidden veil of time. Centuries of history have seen alternating more or less competent figures, even though unaware, who have concealed and seriously penalized the preservation of the asset, both in its physical consistency and in the preservation of its historical and iconographic meanings. Not infrequently, the interventions of clumsy restorers have ended up in tampering the original appearance of many works of art and changing, inevitably, also the iconographic code represented in them. This dynamic has been, and is still today, a harbinger of unconfessed secrets. This makes the work of art a treasure chest of mysteries, since hundreds of years waiting to be revealed. Sorry, a moment, please. Okay. Sorry. The movie you are looking at shows the cleaning of a painting executed in temporal panel dated to the second half of the 16th century. The painting showed a considerable layer of harmful deposits formed by the overlap of yellow varnish and general dirt altered over time. During the phase of cleaning, we proceed in small areas to control the action of the solvent and neutralize it at the right time. With a wick of cotton soaked with solvent, the hardened layers dissolve and will be completely removed. As soon as the dirt dissolves, with another wick of cotton soaked with neutralizing, we proceed immediately to stop the action of the solvent and remove the harmful material residues. The Victorian material, apparently intact, during the phase of cleaning has made resurface the original composition, just as the artist had designed and manufactured it 5 centuries ago. But thanks to an even more careful and accurate preliminary investigation, it was possible to sense the presence of numerous repaintings, which, although did not excel fluorescence under examination with ultraviolet light lamp, they made us assume that, most likely, the original Victorian material had suffered considerable manipulation due to a previous and date restoration and, for this reason, perfectly camouflaged over the centuries, enough to even be resistant to ultraviolet light exposure. The image shows the removal of the fluent hair of the Virgin, which have been offhandedly repainted during an antique restoration. The cleaning, little by little, has made the delicate veil resurface, almost transparent and tinted of a light blue pastel pigment that perfectly harmonized with the color of the cloth lying on the lap of the Virgin Mary, and on which the Virgin lovingly counselled the child, standing next to her. Traces of pure gold, which originally finely decorated both the veil of the Madonna and the crowns of the saints, have re-emerged under the coarse repainting. But it is possible to sense the presence of secrets that lead to the research for truth to be revealed. Can the Virgin Mary be portrayed without the veil? The ability to respond properly to these questions, as witnessed by the movie, often arise from a profuse competence in the activity of recovery of lost knowledge. Often it is particular sensibility to manifest itself as an essential instrument in a harbinger strategy of revelation of disavowed secrets, hidden for centuries behind the image of a work of art. But these assumptions also represent a fundamental cognitive elements and preparatory to challenge oneself in appropriate intervention or conservation of the material of the work of art. Once the cleaning has been finished and the compositional integrity of the work has been restored, it has been necessary to intervene with the pictorial reintegration of damaged parts, which made us re-establish the gaps, paying particular attention not to overflow onto the original color. While examining a work of art, we need to linger to also observe the most negligible details and ask ourselves questions that, although apparently obvious, they can reveal the suitable path to the encoding of a lost language and or forgotten through these centuries. The fact that among the best known prerogatives of authoritative teachers of every era there is to conceal behind the image of a work of art hidden meanings not easily understood, which often remained secrets for centuries. Furthermore, in the past centuries, it is also known as the figure of the restorer felt entitled to reprocess the work of art by relying on his own interpretation, rather than conserve and preserve with rigor the integrity of the original artifact. So many works of art over time were even massively modified to the point that today it is legitimate to speak of actual tampering. Today, through the use of innovative technologies such as smartphone, it is possible to benefit of avant-garde instruments, which can be crucial for the recovery of a lost historical path and to provide an essential support to the preservation of cultural heritage, more appropriate and professional. Before you even deal with a delicate intervention or conservation of the material of the work of art, it will be appropriate and mature the confidence to be able to reveal its secrets very carefully and thoroughly, so as to avoid the risk to damaging it irreparably, perhaps seeking with solvents non-existent secrets, or incurring the risk of preserving the conservation inadequately, or eventually delegating to posterity unknowingly the arduous rediscovery of great masterpieces camouflaged under the veil, hidden under the deposit of time and the course of centuries of history. The completion of the restoration has allowed to appreciate again the iconographic coherence of the composition, recovering the original iconographic canons. They testify obvious references that the passage between the most ancient doctrine, where the Virgin is intended to caress the child with her right hand, and the traditional iconography of the Virgin in tenderness, that combines the figures of the icon in the attitude of a loving mother. The painting has been subjected to the study by Professor Mina Gregori, who returned to the authorship to a Toscan artist Francesco Blina. So it is in this sense that we can state that, as claimed by Galileo Galilei, all truths are easy to understand once they are revealed, and that behind every problem there is an opportunity, because it is only thanks to the proven evidence of these allegations that it becomes possible to engage in an ambitious path so dedicated to the preservation and conservation of cultural heritage, as to its actual knowledge and valorization. This awareness will allow us to deal with the intervention of restoration by entrusting to the delicate phase of the cleaning, the task of a diligent removal of tampering, and to restore to the work of art the recovery of the objective truth which determines its reason to exist. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sarah. Any question?
I'd like to ask, you have the famous art professor lady coming, Giulastina here in Florence, following you.
Mina Gregori.
Mina Gregori, can you say a few words about what she followed the work? She followed, ha seguito il lavoro lei?
Yes, Professor Mina Gregori, she knows all the passage for the restoration of this artifact. I have studied, I asked Professor Mina Gregori if she thinks that this artifact can be possible to the artist.
It's positive reply.
Yes, to the artist Francesco Blina.
this is probably because me and Gregory is authority.
Authority teacher, yes.
You are authority, but he's more, sorry. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I just want to say from my side, just as a general comment, I was witness with Vito last night when we made this night tour in San Lorenzo. Some paintings today I restored